What is portable computer? In this video, we are going to see about what is portable computer. A portable computer is a personal computer that is designed to be easily transported and relocated and includes a display and keyboard. Types of portable computer include laptops, tablets. In addition to laptops, we also have a personal digital assistant or PDAs. PDAs are also sometimes called palm-top computers or handheld computers. As the size and weight of most portables decreased, they became known as laptop computers and later as notebook computers. Today, larger transportable computers continue to be called portable computers. Most of these are special-purpose computers. The portable computer is categorized by the following accessories: display, design, processors, memory, keyboards and pointing devices. Display. The display device for personal computers is the monitor. However, while desktops may use a larger screen, portables rely on flat screens based on LCD, that is liquid crystal diode technology, which represent one of their most expensive parts. Design. Components are placed in closer proximity and are engineered to minimize the power consumption because portable computers often run on battery power. Processors. Chips in portable computers are designed to perform with less power than those in a desktop. Memory. The size limitations affect the portable's storage capacity. While bigger desktops can hold hard drives of up to 8, 10 or even 20 gigabytes, the more sophisticated laptops are still around 5 gigabytes. However, some portables now come with removable drives to overcome this limitation. Many notebooks come with a base amount of memory built into the motherboard and 1 or 2 additional slots. Most portable computers come with an integrated CD drive, floppy drive and fax or modem card. Features for these components are similar to those in a desktop, since they usually do not take much space. Keyboards and pointing devices. Keyboard size reduction is limited because the keys and spaces between them have to be large enough to be easily manipulated with human fingers. However, overall keyboard size in a portable is quite smaller than in a desktop. A mouse can be adapted to a portable computer, but all of them are provided with an alternative pointing device. Laptops. In this video, we are going to see about laptops. Laptops. Portable and compact personal computer with the same capabilities as a desktop computer. Laptop computers have an L-shaped design and the screen can be lowered and closed to allow for easy transportation of the machine. The primary feature that attracts user laptops over desktops is their portability. Laptop computers provide users the ability to run the machine using an internal battery or an outside power adapter. Laptops have dramatically decreased in size since their introduction in 1979. Laptops are usually more expensive than standard desktops and do not have the same lifespan as fixed personal computers. Laptops usually come with displays that use thin screen technology. The thin film transistor or active matrix screen is brighter and better views at different angles than the STN or dual scan screen. Laptops are usually notebook-shaped with dimensions typically ranging from 10 into 8 inches to 15 into 11 inches, and the modern laptops weigh 1.4 kg to 5.4 kg. Laptops use several different approaches for integrating a mouse into the keyboard, including the touchpad, the trackball, and the pointing stick. A serial port also allows a regular mouse to be attached. The PC card is insertable hardware for adding a modem or network interface card to a laptop. CD-ROM and digital versatile disk drives may be built in or attachable. As portable computers became larger and of better quality, laptops became very widely used for all purposes. Notebooks. In this video, we are going to see about notebooks. Today, technology allows devices to be slimmer, smaller, and better for mobile computing by design. A notebook is an extremely lightweight personal computer. Notebook computers typically weigh less than 6 pounds and are small enough to fit easily in a briefcase. Notebook computers use a variety of techniques known as flat panel technologies to produce a lightweight and non-bulky display screen. In terms of computing power, modern notebook computers are nearly equivalent to personal computers. The quality of notebook display screens varies considerably. Many notebook display screens are limited to VGA resolution. Active matrix screens produce very sharp images, but they do not refresh as rapidly as full-size monitors. They have the same CPUs, memory capacity, and disk drives. However, all this power in a small package is expensive. The PC card is insertable hardware for adding a modem or network interface card to a notebook. CD-ROM and digital versatile disk drives may be built in or attachable. Notebook computers come with battery packs that enable you to run them without plugging them in. However, the batteries need to be recharged every few hours. Tablets. In this video, we are going to see about tablets. A tablet is a wireless portable personal computer with a touchscreen interface. The tablet form factor is typically smaller than a notebook computer, but larger than a smartphone. The tablets are popularized by their user-friendly interface. There are now dozens of high-performance tablets in the market, offering users a unique enjoyable experience when interacting with and browsing the web. Popular uses for a tablet PC include viewing presentations, video conferencing, reading e-books, watching movies, sharing photos, and more. Early tablet devices used light pens or a stylus as their input device. However, today all tablets use a touchscreen as their primary input device, with the option to connect external devices such as a keyboard. Most tablets only have a few physical buttons, the back, power, and volume buttons, and everything else can be done using your fingers. While all tablet PCs look similar from the outside, there are subtle yet significant differences between each model, such as its operating system, speed of data connectivity, camera specifications, and battery life. A good operating system is an important part of a great tablet computer. Tablet PCs run on a variety of operating systems like Android Jelly Bean, an open source OS built by Google, and tablets running on Windows 8 are seeing a dramatic increase in popularity. Each operating system has a proprietary app store from which users can download hundreds of thousands of applications, extending their tablet's functionality. Apps range from games to music production suites, and they utilize the tablet's touchscreen to provide an experience very different from the one received on a laptop. Tablet PCs have different data connectivity options including 3G, 4G, and Wi-Fi. Users who wish to access data on the go might consider a dedicated data plan for the tablet device, while others may opt to connect only over Wi-Fi. Important features to consider are the size of the screen, processing power, battery life, and storage capability. Battery life varies greatly depending on bandwidth usage, processing power, and applications used. Games, movies, and video conferencing will decrease battery life significantly, and there is speculation that internet connections consume more battery than Wi-Fi. A smaller screen means that the device can be transported in a purse or small bag, whereas a larger screen makes the device heavier and less portable. Today, the most common type of tablet is a slate style, like Apple's iPod, Microsoft's Surface, or Amazon's Kindle Fire. Other styles of tablets include convertible tablets. Typically have a display that rotates 180 degrees and can be folded to close screen up over an integrated hardware keyboard. Hybrid tablets, sometimes referred to as convertible or hybrid notebooks. A hybrid is like a regular notebook but has a removable display that functions independently as a slate. Rugged tablets, a slate-like model that is designed to withstand rough handling and extreme conditions. Rugged tablets are usually encased in a thick protective shell and have shock-protected hard drives. Smartphones. In this video, we are going to see about smartphones. Smartphones are a handheld device that integrates mobile phone capabilities with the more common features of a handheld computer or PDA. Smartphones allow users to store information, email, install programs, along with using a mobile phone in one device. The majority of these devices run on any of these popular mobile operating systems: Android, iOS, BlackBerry OS, and Windows Mobile. A smartphone is expected to have a more powerful CPU, more storage space, more RAM, greater connectivity options, and larger screen than a regular cell phone. High-end smartphones now run on processors with high processing speeds coupled with low power consumptions. That means they will allow you to play 3D games, browse the web, update your Facebook account, call, and text much longer than you used to. In addition to the features mentioned earlier, smartphones are also equipped with innovative sensors like accelerometers, or even gyroscopes. Accelerometers are responsible for displaying screens in portrait and landscape mode, while gyroscopes make it possible for games to support the motion-based navigation. The earliest touchscreen smartphones used resistive touchscreen displays, which required the use of slender pointing objects known as styli. Most of the later models, however, like the iPhone and most Android phones, employ capacitive displays, which feature multi-touch finger gestures. Smartphones may be connected to numerous peripheral devices via Bluetooth or SDIO expansion. Software customization capabilities of smartphones conveniently transform their business productivity tools. For example, a smartphone user could connect the following: a global positioning systems, that is GPS, with a SD adapter or with integrated Bluetooth wireless connectivity, which could enable the smartphone to read out step-by-step driving directions. A Wi-Fi card that smartphone's user can use in airports, hotels, corporate facilities, and even coffee shops to access business services through the internet. A VPN software could be used to provide an encrypted wireless connection to corporate networks. A peripheral that is both a credit card mag strip reader and a printer, which smartphone users can use a point-of-sale application on their smartphones to take orders and print out receipts anywhere they need to conduct business. A barcode reader can be used with a smartphone to track inventory, enter data into fields, identify users' locations. RFID readers are being developed that are expected to plug into or be built into smartphones. Palm tops. In this video, we are going to see about palm tops. A palm top computer is a personal computer or other electronic device that has many of the same features as a computer and fits in the palm of your hand. palm-top or handheld personal computer, lightweight, small, battery-powered, general-purpose programmable computer. It typically had a miniaturized full-function typewriter-like keyboard for input and a small, full-color, liquid crystal display for output. In addition to an operating system compatible with that of a desktop computer, a palm-top typically contained a word processor, a spreadsheet program, and a calendar and a phone book. A variety of other programs could be loaded and executed, and data could usually be transferred to and from a desktop computer. Although some palm-tops were like personal digital assistants in that they accepted handwritten or touchscreen input, they generally differed in that the palm-top had more memory, a keyboard, and a greater variety of available programs. The development of notebooks and smartphones made palm-tops obsolete. Portable system models and configurations from different manufacturers. In this video, we are going to see about portable system models and configurations from different manufacturers. IBM. The IBM Portable Personal Computer 5155 Model 68 was an early portable computer developed by IBM after the success of compact suitcase-sized portable machine. It was released in February 1984 and was eventually replaced by the IBM Convertible. The portable was basically a PC or XT motherboard, transplanted into a compact-style, luggable case. The system featured 256 kilobytes of memory, that is, expandable to 512 KB on the motherboard, an added CGA card connected to an internal monochrome amber composite monitor, and 1 or 2 half-height 5 1/4 inches 360 KB floppy disk drives. Dell. Model name Inspiron 15R U540507IN8. Core processor Intel Core i3. RAM 3GB RAM. Memory hard disk 320GB HDD Win 7 HP. Graphics 1GB graphics. Screen 15.6 inch. Model name Dell Inspiron 5558. Core processor Intel Core i3. RAM 4GB RAM. Memory hard disk 1 TB Win 7 HP. Graphics 1GB graphics. Screen 15.6 inch. Apple. The Macintosh Portable is Apple's first battery-powered portable Macintosh personal computer. Released on September 20, 1989, it was received with excitement from most critics, but consumer sales were quite low. It featured a fast, sharp and expensive black and white active matrix LCD screen in a hinged design that covered the keyboard when the machine was not in use. The cursor pointing function was handheld by a built-in trackball that could be removed and located on either side of the keyboard. It used expensive SRAM in an effort to maximize battery life and to provide an instant-on, low-power sleep mode. The machine was designed to be high performance at the cost of price and weight. There were 3 drive configurations available for the Macintosh Portable: 1 floppy drive, 2 floppy drives, or a hard drive and a floppy drive. The floppy drive in the Macintosh Portable is 1.44 MB. It holds 40 MB of data, consumes less power compared to most hard drives at the time, and it had a proprietary SCSI connector. Adapters that allow standard SCSI drives to be used on the portable exist, but they are expensive. Samsung. Model name: Samsung NP530U4C S05N. Core processor: Intel Core i5 1.80 GHz. RAM: 6 GB RAM. Memory hard disk: 1 TB. Graphics: 1 GB graphics. Screen: 14-inch. Model name: Samsung NP550P5C S06IN. Core processor: Intel Core i5 2.6 GHz. RAM: 6 GB RAM. Memory hard disk: 1 TB. Graphics: 1 GB graphics. Screen: 15.6 inch. HP. Model name: HP 15AC 120TX. Core processor: Intel Core i3 2.0 GHz. RAM: 4 GB RAM. Memory hard disk: 1 TB. Graphics: 1 GB graphics. Screen: 15.6 inch. Model name: HP Pavilion 15 AB214TX. Core processor: Intel Core i7 2.5 GHz. RAM: 8 GB RAM. Memory hard disk: 1 TB. Graphics: 1 GB graphics. Screen: 15.6 inch. Toshiba. Model name: Toshiba Satellite Pro R50B10101. Core processor: Intel Core i3 2.0 GHz. RAM: 4 GB RAM. Memory hard disk: 500 GB. Graphics, Intel HD graphics. Screen, 15.6 inch. Model name, Toshiba Tecra Z40BX4301. Core processor, Intel Core i5 2.2 GHz. RAM, 4 GB RAM. Memory hard disk, 500 GB. Graphics, Intel HD 4400 graphics. Screen, 14 inch. Fujitsu. Model name, Fujitsu Lifebook SH531. Core processor, Intel Core i5 2.5 GHz. RAM, 4 GB RAM. Memory hard disk, 500 GB. Graphics, Intel HD graphics. Screen, 13.3 inch. Model name, Fujitsu AH530 HD. Core processor, Intel Core i7 2.0 GHz. RAM, 4 GB RAM. Memory hard disk, 400 GB. Screen, 15.6 inch. Acer. Model name, Acer Aspire V15 Nitro. Core processor, Intel Core i7 2.60 GHz. RAM, 12 GB RAM. Memory hard disk, 1 TB. Graphics, Intel HD graphics. Screen, 15.6 inch. Model name, Acer Aspire V5-471. Core processor, Intel Core i5 1.8 GHz. RAM, 4 GB RAM. Memory hard disk, 500 GB. Graphics, Intel HD graphics 4000. Screen, 14 inch. Windows 8. In this video we are going to see about Windows 8. Windows 8 is a personal computer operating system developed by Microsoft as part of the Windows NT family of operating systems. Development of Windows 8 started before the release of its predecessor, Windows 7 in 2009. It was announced at CES 2011 and followed by the release of 3 pre-release versions from September 2011 to May 2012. The operating system was released on manufacturing on August 1, 2012 and was released for general availability on October 26, 2012. Windows 8 introduced major changes to the operating system's platform and user interface to improve its users' experience on tablets, where Windows was now competing with mobile operating systems, including Android and iOS. In particular, these changes included a touch-optimized Windows shell based on Microsoft's Metro design language, the Start screen, that is, which displays programs and dynamically update content on a grid of tiles, a new platform for developing apps with an emphasis on touchscreen input, integration with online services, that is, including the ability to synchronize apps and settings between devices, and Windows Store, an online store for downloading and purchasing new software. Windows 8 added support for USB 3.0, advanced format hard drives, near-field communications, and cloud computing. Additional security features were introduced, such as built-in antivirus software, integration with Microsoft Smart Screen phishing filtering service, and support for UEFI secure boot on supported devices with UEFI firmware to prevent malware from infecting the boot process. Although reaction towards its performance improvements, security enhancements, and improved support for touchscreen devices was positive, the new user interface of the operating system was widely criticized for being potentially confusing and difficult to learn, especially when used with a keyboard and mouse instead of a touchscreen. Despite these shortcomings, 60 million Windows 8 licenses have been sold throughout January 2013, a number that included both upgrades and sales to OEMs for new PCs. On October 17, 2013, Microsoft released Windows 8.1. It addresses some aspects of Windows 8 that were criticized by reviewers and early adopters and incorporates additional improvements to various aspects of the operating system. Windows 8 was ultimately succeeded by Windows 10 in July 2015. Support for Windows 8 RTM ended on January 12, 2016 per Microsoft lifecycle policies regarding service packs. Windows 8.1 must be installed to maintain support and receive further updates. Android is a mobile operating system that is OS currently developed by Google based on the Linux kernel and designed primarily for touchscreen mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets. It has been the best-selling OS on tablets and on smartphones since 2013 and has the largest installed base. Android's user interface is mainly based on direct manipulation using touch gestures that loosely correspond to real-world actions such as swiping, tapping, and pinching to manipulate on-screen objects along with a virtual keyboard for text input. The operating system's current design language is Google's Material Design. Android's primary app store is Google Play, with over 1 million Android applications, that is apps, published and 50 billion downloads as of July 2013. In addition to touchscreen devices, Google has further developed Android for television, cars, and wristwatches, each with a specialized yet similar interface. Android was initially authored by Android Inc., which Google bought in 2005 and unveiled it in 2007, along with the founding of the Open Handset Alliance, a consortium of hardware, software, and telecommunication companies devoted to advancing open standards for mobile devices. A 2013 survey of mobile application developers found that 71% of developers create applications for Android from April to May, and a 2015 survey found that 40% of full-time professional developers priorly see Android as their target platform, compared to Apple's iOS on 37%, with both platforms far above others. In September 2015, Android had 1.4 billion monthly active users. Android source code is released by Google under open source licenses, although most Android devices ultimately ship with both open source and proprietary software, including required proprietary components of Google services. It is popular with technology companies that require an optimized, low-cost, and customizable operating system for high-tech devices. Its open nature has encouraged a large community of developers and enthusiasts to use the open source code as a foundation for community-driven projects which add new features for advanced users or bring Android to devices originally shipped with other operating systems. However, Android has no central update protocol and most devices fail to receive security updates. 2015 research concluded that almost 90% of Android phones in use had known but unpatched security vulnerabilities due to lack of updates and support. Various releases of Android. In this video, we are going to see about various releases of Android. The version history of the Android mobile operating system began with the release of the Android Alpha in November 2007. The first commercial version, Android 1.0, was released in September 2008. Android is continually developed by Google and the Open Handset Alliance, that is OHA, and has seen a number of updates to its base operating system since the initial release. Version 1.0 to 1.5. Versions 1.0 and 1.1 were not released under specific code names, but since April 2009's Android 1.5 Cupcake, Android versions have had confectionery-themed code names. Version 1.6 Donut. Android 1.6 Donut is a discontinued version and the dessert-themed Android codename for the version 1.6 update of the open-source Android mobile operating system. Developed by Google, Donut made its debut in fall 2009 for a variety of smartphones, adding new features like support for CDMA smartphones, support for additional screen sizes, and a text-to-speech engines. Version 2.0 2.1 Eclair. Android 2.0 to 2.1 Eclair is a discontinued version of the Android mobile operating system developed by Google. Unveiled on October 26, 2009, Android 2.1 builds upon the significant changes made by Android 1.6 Donut. Two major additions in Eclair were support for near-field communication, that is NFC, that is used in mobile payment solutions, and Session Initiation Protocol, that is SIP, that is used in VoIP Internet telephony. Version 2.2 Froyo. Android Froyo is a discontinued version of the Android mobile operating system developed by Google, spanning versions between 2.2 and 2.2.3, unveiled on May 20, 2010 during the Google Input or Output 2010 conference. One of the most prominent changes in the Froyo release was USB tethering and Wi-Fi hotspot functionality. Other changes include support for the Android Cloud to device messaging, that is C2DM service enabling push notifications, additional application speed improvements implemented through JIT compilation and displayed within applications as top-of-the-screen banners. As of November 2, 2015, statistics issued by Google indicate that 0.2% of all Android devices accessing Google Play run Froyo. Improved application launcher with shortcuts to phone and browser applications, Adobe Flash support. Support for numeric and alphanumeric passwords. Improved Microsoft Exchange support, including security policies, auto-discovery, GAL lookup, calendar synchronization and remote wipe. Version 2.3, 2.3.7 Gingerbread. Android 2.3 to 2.3.7 Gingerbread is a discontinued version of the Android mobile operating system developed by Google and released in December 2010. The Gingerbread release introduced support for near-field communication, that is NFC, that is used in mobile payment solutions, and Session Initiation Protocol, that is SIP, used in VoIP Internet telephony. Gingerbread's user interface was refined in many ways, making it easier to master, faster to use, and more power efficient. A simplified color scheme with a black background gave vividness and contrast to the notification bar, menus, and other user interface components. Improvements in menus and settings resulted in easier navigation and system control. Support for multiple cameras on the device, including a front-facing camera if available. Improved power management, including more active management of power-consuming applications. Improved text input using the virtual keyboard with improved accuracy, better text suggestions, and voice input capability. Gingerbread uses version 2.6.35 of the Linux kernel. Version 3.0 to 3.2.6 Honeycomb. Android 3.0 to 3.2.6 Honeycomb is a discontinued version of the Android platform that was designed for devices with larger screen sizes, particularly tablets. Besides the addition of new features, Honeycomb introduced a new so-called holographic user interface theme and an interaction model that built on the main features of Android, such as multitasking notifications and widgets. Version 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich is a discontinued version of the Android mobile operating system developed by Google. Unveiled on October 19, 2011, Android 4.0 builds upon the significant changes made by the tablet-only release Android 3.0 Honeycomb in an effort to create a unified platform for both smartphones and tablets, whilst simplifying and modernizing the overall Android experience around a new set of human interface guidelines. As part of these efforts, Android 4.0 introduced a new visual appearance codenamed Hollow, which is built around a cleaner, minimalistic design, and a new default typeface named Roboto. Android 4.0 also introduced a number of other new features, including a refreshed home screen, near-field communication, that is NFC support, and the ability to beam content to another user using the technology, an updated web browser, a new contacts manager with social network integration, the ability to access the camera and control music playback from the lock screen, visual voicemail support, face recognition for device unlocking, that is, face unlock, the ability to monitor and limit mobile data usage, and other internal improvements. Version 4.1 to 4.3.1 Jelly Bean. Android Jelly Bean is a name given to the three major point releases of the Android mobile operating system developed by Google, spanning versions between 4.1 and 4.3.1. The first of these three, 4.1, was unveiled at Google's Input or Output Developer Conference in June 2012, focusing on performance improvements designed to give the operating system a smoother and more responsive feel, improvements to the notification system allowing for expandable notifications with action buttons, and other internal changes. Two more releases were made under the Jelly Bean name in October 2012 and July 2013 respectively, including 4.2, which included further optimizations, multi-user support for tablets, lock screen widgets, quick settings and screensavers, and 4.3 contained further improvements and updates to the underlying Android platform. Version 4.4 KitKat. Android 4.4 KitKat is a version of the Android mobile operating system developed by Google, spanning versions between 4.4 and 4.4.4. Unveiled on September 3, 2013, KitKat focused primarily on optimizing the operating system for improved performance on entry-level devices with limited resources. Version 5.0 to 5.1.1 Lollipop. Android Lollipop is a version of the Android mobile operating system developed by Google, spanning versions between 5.0 and 5.1.1. Unveiled on June 25, 2014 at the Google Input or Output 2014 conference, it became available through official over-the-air, that is, OTA updates on November 12, 2014 for select devices that run distributions of Android serviced by Google, that is such as Nexus and Google Play Edition devices. Its source code was made available on November 3, 2014. One of the most prominent changes in the Lollipop release is a redesigned user interface built around a design language known as Material Design, which was made to retain a paper-like feel to the interface. Other changes include improvements to the notifications, which can be accessed from the lock screen and displayed within applications as top-of-the-screen banners. Google also made internal changes to the platform, with the Android runtime, that is ART, officially replacing Dalvik for improved application performance and with changes intended to improve and optimize battery usage. As of June 2016, statistics issued by Google indicate that 35.4% of all Android devices accessing Google Play run Lollipop. The Lollipop is succeeded by Marshmallow, which was released in October 2015. Version 6.0 Marshmallow. Android 6.0 Marshmallow is the 8th major version of the Android operating system, first unveiled in May 2015 at Google Input or Output under the codename Android M. It was officially released in October 2015. Marshmallow primarily focuses on improving the overall user experience of Lollipop, introducing a new permissions architecture, new APIs for contextual assistance, that is a feature notably leveraged by Now on Tap, a new capability of the Google searching by contextualizing an app into a simpler interface by Google Now, a new power management system that reduces background activity when a device is not being physically handled, native support for fingerprint recognition and USB Type-C connectors, the ability to migrate data and applications to a micro SD card and use it as primary storage, as well as other internal changes. As of June 2016, 10.1% of the devices accessing Google Play run Android 6.0. Version 6.0 XN. Android N is the codename of an upcoming release of the Android operating system. It was first released as a developer preview on March 9, 2016 with factory images for current Nexus devices, as well as with the new Android beta program, which allows supported devices to be upgraded directly through the Android N beta via over-the-air update. Apple Macintosh and iOS. In this video, we are going to see about Apple Macintosh and iOS. Apple Macintosh. A popular model of computer made by Apple Computer. Introduced in 1984, the Macintosh features a graphical user interface, that is GUI, that utilizes windows, icons, and a mouse to make it relatively easy for novices to use the computer productively. Rather than learning a complex set of commands, you need only to point a selection on a menu and click a mouse button. Moreover, the GUI is embedded into the operating system. This means that all applications that run on a Macintosh computer have a similar user interface. The success of the Macintosh GUI heralded a new age of graphics-based applications and operating systems. The Windows interface copies many features from the Mac. There are many different Macintosh models with varying degrees of speed and power. All models are available in many different configurations. All models since 1994 are based on the PowerPC microprocessor. The Macintosh, however, was expensive, which hindered its ability to be competitive in a market already dominated by the Commodore 64 for consumers, as well as the IBM personal computer and its accompanying clone market for businesses. Macintosh systems still found success in education and desktop publishing and kept Apple as the second largest PC manufacturer for the next decade. iOS. iOS, that is originally iPhone OS, is a mobile operating system created and developed by Apple Inc. and distributed exclusively for Apple hardware. It is the operating system that presently powers many of the company's mobile devices, including the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. It is the second most popular mobile operating system in the world by sales, after Android. iPad tablets are also the second most popular by sales, against Android since 2013, when Android tablet sales increased by 127%. Originally unveiled in 2007 for the iPhone, it has been extended to support other Apple devices such as the iPod Touch, that is September 2007, iPad, that is January 2010, and iPad mini, that is November 2012. As of January 2015, Apple's App Store contained more than 1.4 million iOS applications, 725,000 of which are native for iPads. These mobile apps have collectively been downloaded more than 100 billion times. The iOS user interface is based on the concept of direct manipulation using multi-touch gestures. Interface control elements consist of sliders, switches, and buttons. Interaction with the OS includes gestures such as swipe, tap, pinch, and reverse pinch, all of which have specific definitions within the context of the iOS operating system and its multi-touch interface. Internal accelerometers are used by some applications to respond to shaking the device, that is one common result in the undo command, or rotating it in 3 dimensions, that is one common result in switching between portrait and landscape mode. The current version of the operating system, that is iOS 9, dedicates around 1.3 GB of the device's flash memory for iOS itself. Intel Mobile Pentium. In this video, we are going to see about Intel Mobile Pentium. The Pentium is a widely used personal computer microprocessor from the Intel Corporation. First offered in 1993, the Pentium quickly replaced Intel's 486 microprocessor as the microchip of choice in manufacturing a personal computer. The original Pentium model includes 2 processors on one chip that contains 3.1 million transistors. The Pentium M is a family of mobile 32-bit single-core into 86 microprocessors, that is with the modified Intel P6 microarchitecture introduced in March 2003 and forming a part of the Intel Carmel notebook platform under the new Centrino brand. The Pentium M processors had a maximum thermal design power, that is TDP, of 5 to 27 W depending on the model, and were intended for use in laptops. Thus the M suffix stands for mobile. They evolved from the core of the last Pentium 3 branded CPU by adding the front side bus, that is FSB interface of the Pentium 4, and improved instruction decoding and issuing front end, improved branch prediction, SSE2 support, and a much larger cache. The Pentium M branded processors were succeeded by the core branded dual-core mobile Iona CPU with a modified microarchitecture. Pentium M processors are also of interest to embedded systems manufacturers because the low power conception of the Pentium M allows the design of fanless and miniaturized embedded PCs. Mobile Celeron processors. In this video, we are going to see about mobile Celeron processors. Intel Celeron family is a line of budget x86 processors based on Pentium designs, originally based on Intel Pentium 2 architecture. The Celeron processors migrated over time to Pentium 3, net burst, that is Pentium 4 and core architectures. Priced lower than their Pentium counterparts, the Celeron processors have certain high-end processors features disabled. For example, P6-based Celerons had multiprocessing disabled, while more modern CPUs may have disabled hyperthreading, virtualization, AES instructions, or other features. The Celerons are slower than similar clocked Pentiums due to the smaller size of L2 cache and possibly slower bus speed. Celeron CPUs are usually packaged in the same way as a Pentium or core branded processors and can be used in motherboards designed for Pentium or core microprocessors. Distinguishing between different generations of Celeron desktop processors is easy because they used different package types. Celerons based on Pentium 2 core were packaged either in slot 1 or plastic PPGA package. Intel Celeron chips based on Pentium 3 core were manufactured in FCPGA package. Net burst generation of Celeron microprocessors was packaged in 478-pin package with integrated heatsink. Core-based Celerons were produced in 775 land LGA, that is pinless package, compatible with socket 775. Mobile Celeron processors based on the 0.13 micron Pentium 3 design with 256 KB of 2 cache are available at the following speeds: 1.33 GHz, 1.26 GHz, 1.20 GHz, 1.13 GHz, 1.06 GHz, 1.00 GHz, 733 MHz, 700 MHz, 667 MHz, 650 MHz. In addition to Celeron processors, there were a few Intel families that used Celeron brand name as part of the name. These were Celeron D, a line of desktop budget CPUs built on net burst microarchitecture; Celeron M, a group of families of single-core mobile microprocessors; Celeron dual-core, a family of budget dual-core CPUs that spanned a few different microarchitectures. This family was eventually rebranded as Celeron. Mobile Celeron dual-core, a line of mobile dual-core microprocessors for value market. The family is now branded as Mobile Celeron. ARM Cortex processors. In this video, we are going to see about ARM Cortex processors. ARM, originally a Con RISC machine, later Advanced RISC machine, is a family of reduced instruction set computing, that is RISC architectures for computer processors configured for various environments. A RISC-based computer design approach means processors require fewer transistors than the typical complex instruction set computing CISC x86 processor in most personal computers. This approach reduces cost, heat and power use. Such reductions are desirable traits for light, portable, battery-powered devices including smartphones, laptops, tablet and notepad computers and other embedded systems. The company periodically releases updates to its cores. All cores from ARM Holdings support a 32-bit address space, that is only pre-ARM v3 chips as in original Acorn Archimedes had smaller, and 32-bit arithmetic, the ARM v8A architecture, announced in October 2011, adds support for a 64-bit address space and 64-bit arithmetic. Instructions for ARM Holdings cores have 32 bits wide fixed-length instructions, but later versions of the architecture also support a variable length instruction set that provides both 32 and 16-bit wide instructions for improved code density. Some cores can also provide hardware execution of Java bytecodes. AMD Mobile Athlon 4. In this video, we are going to see about AMD Mobile Athlon 4. Even though the K6 family processors offers very good performance in its class, these processors are not fast enough to compete with the 600 MHz and higher mobile Pentium 3 and mobile Celeron processors from Intel. In May 2001, AMD introduced its Mobile Athlon, known as the Athlon 4, and its Mobile Duron processors, which, similar to their desktop siblings, directly compete with the Intel Pentium 3 Celeron processors. The Athlon 4 features 256 KB of on-die L2 cache and support for either PC 133 or DDR SDRAM. The Athlon 4 uses 1.4 volt of power at full speed and 1.2 volt in battery saving mode. The Mobile Duron features 64 KB of on-die 1.2 cache and uses a standard 200 MHz FSB introduced by the original Athlon CPU. The Mobile Duron uses 1.5 volt at full speed and 1.2 volt in battery saving mode. Both the Mobile Athlon 4 and the Mobile Duron use the 0.18 microprocessor, use a modified version of the 462-pin socket A used by desktop Athlon and Duron processors, and feature 128 KB of level 1 cache and an improved version of AMD's Power, now battery saving technology. The Mobile Athlon uses Q200 MHz or 266 MHz processors, that is front side bus called the EV6, to connect to the motherboard North Bridge chip as well as other processor. Licensed from Digital Equipment, the EV6 bus is the same as that used for the Alpha 21264 processor, now owned by Compaq. The EV6 bus uses a clock speed of 100 MHz or 133 MHz, but it double clocks the data, transferring data twice per cycle for cycling speed of 200 MHz or 266 MHz. Because the bus is 8 bytes, that is 64 bits wide, this results in a throughput of 8 bytes into 200 MHz or 266 MHz, which amounts to 1.6 Gbps or 2.1 Gbps. The bus is ideal for supporting PC1600 or PC2100 DDR memory, which also runs at those speeds. The AMD bus design eliminates a potential bottleneck between the chipset and the processor and enables more efficient transfers compared to other processors. The use of the EV6 bus is one of the primary reasons that the Athlon and chips perform so well. The Athlon has a very large 128 KB of L1 cache on the processor die and 256 KB or 512 KB of full core speed 1.2 cache in the latest Athlon XP models. The Athlon also has support for MMX and the enhanced 3D Now instructions, which are 45 new instructions designed to support graphics and sound processing. 3D Now is very similar to Intel's SSE in design and intent, but the specific instructions are different and require software support. The Athlon XP adds the Intel SSE instructions, which it calls 3D Now Professional. Fortunately, most companies producing graphics software have decided to support the instructions along with the Intel SSE instructions, with only a few exceptions. Mobile Duron. In this video, we are going to see about Mobile Duron. Mobile Duron. The AMD Duron processor, that is originally codenamed Spitfire, is a derivative of the AMD Athlon processor in the same way that the Celeron was originally a derivative of the Pentium 2 and 3, that is, the current Celerons are based on the Pentium 4. Basically, the Duron is an Athlon with less 1.2 cache. All other capabilities are essentially the same. It is designed to be a lower cost version with less cache, but only slightly less performance. In keeping with the low cost theme, Duron contains 64 KB on die 1.2 cache and is designed for socket A, a socket version of the Athlon slot A. Except for the Duron markings, the Duron is almost identical externally to the socket A version of the original Athlon. Essentially, the Duron was designed to compete against the Intel Celeron in the low-cost PC market, just as the Athlon was designed to compete in the higher-end Pentium 3 and Pentium 4 market. The Duron has since been discontinued, but most systems that use the Duron processor can use AMD Athlon or, in some cases, Athlon XP processor as an upgrade. Because the Duron processor is derived from the core, it includes the Athlon 200 MHz front-side system bus that is interfaced to the chipset, as well as enhanced 3D Now instructions in Model 3. Model 7 processors include 3D Now Professional instructions, that is, which include a full implementation of SSE instructions. Mobile processor packaging. In this video, we are going to see about mobile processor packaging. The heat that processors generate has been a concern since the first computer chips were released. In desktop systems, the heat problem is addressed to a great extent by computer case manufacturers. Multiple cooling fans and better internal layout designs can keep air flowing through the system to cool the processor, which is usually equipped with its own fan and heat sink. For developers for portable systems, however, not as much can be accomplished with the case arrangement, so it was up to the chip manufacturers to address the problem in the design and packaging of the chip. Although most portable systems use special mobile processors designed specifically for mobile use, some systems use desktop processors for low cost at the expense of battery life and heat generation. Note: some manufacturers of portable systems use standard desktop processors. Apart from a greatly diminished battery life, systems such as these can sometimes be too hot to touch comfortably. Most mobile processors include a built-in thermal diode that can be used to monitor CPU temperature. The laptop systems use this to control fan operation and also for processor performance control. Utilities are available that can use this sensor to display the processor temperature information on screen. Compact motherboards. In this video, we are going to see about compact motherboards. Motherboards are used in different computer systems, support features, and their included hardware components possess different layouts. The different design specifications of motherboards are broadly referred as the form factor of the motherboards. Earlier, motherboards were larger in size. This large size was needed for adding a large number of memory chips, which were then available only in small capacities. But now, the memory chips with larger capacities are available as single small-sized modules. Hence, smaller motherboards have become common for different computer systems. Motherboards are now available in two different form factors, namely Advanced Technology, that is AT, and Advanced Technology Extend, that is ATX form factors. Development and revision in design aspects of motherboards led to the development of compact and efficient motherboards. Small form factor computers are compact and have a space-saving design. Most of the expansion slots are removed from the compact motherboards. These systems usually have space for a single optical drive, single hard drive, and one or two expansion slots. These computers consume less power due to their less heat generation. The small form factor design allows motherboards to be incorporated in small-sized cabinets, thereby making them easily portable.